at speed to the city.
Hello everybody, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm Glenda, if you're new, with Shaking Hands Art with Fralins and Friends. And today, well, we're going to finish the one with the Brontosaurus. I couldn't remember what I was working on. The Brontosaurus in space. So I'm going to add some planets, like distant ones, a spaceship that's going to be distant but big enough. Well, it has to be distant if it's going to be big enough. So, and so I need to give him some sort of breathing apparatus other than the bubble over his head. These are things I've been thinking of for the last couple of days. So I really want to get started on that. So without any further chat, let's get to it. Now, as you notice, I did put some spikes on his tail, a few on his back, and on his head. One thing I did not give him was any nostrils. So, oxygen wouldn't do him much good without those. So let's just give him a couple right there. Ooh. That worked out pretty good. My shakiness didn't mess it up that time. That's why we call it shaking hands. Alrighty. Let's get a breathing apparatus on this guy. What color do I want to use? I've already got the background gray, so I don't really want to use gray. But let's see if we can get a light brown. Let's see what this is. It might work. Okay. I'm going to use a small brush until I am sure that it's going to... Well, it's not the smallest, but it's okay. Alright. What I want to do is... Well, it can go into the bubble that completely covers his head. And then we bring it down the side like this. This will be his air hose. These are to keep it from collapsing. Okay. Now I'm going to put I was going to tell you some things I found out about dinosaurs, as I like to do research. And if you've known me very long, you know that. They have never found a complete skeleton of a dinosaur. They think possibly other animals took off with some of the bones or whatever, but they never have found a complete skeleton. They found parts, but never the whole thing. Anyway, and for the most part, the only places where they have found skeletons are in North America. Well, not in the Americas. And China. Oops. Didn't want to do that. In the Americas and China or northern Asia, somewhere in Asia. And check me up on that. Make sure I've checked out the right source. Put a breathing tube into his mouth. If he's in space, he's an intelligent. If he's spacewalking in space, he's got to be one intelligent dinosaur. So he should learn how. He should be able to learn how to use a breathing tube. Okay. My husband was saying he wants a globe for Christmas. That's okay. I don't mind that at all. Excuse me. So we were looking through globes. They do still have them. A lot of them are, several of them are for kids, you know, to teach them how to, I don't know. They've got little electronic things there, but they do have some nice globes. So he wants to be able to look. He is not a computer person. I really, really want to get him into it, but he kind of resists. He is now using the tablet to play some games, and I think that is a big step for Joe. He is a very highly intelligent man, don't get me wrong. He's highly intelligent, but he just does not care for the whole computerized world. And, you know, it is something that we all have to consider we may not have someday. And then we'll be glad for the Joes who still know how to do without it. Now, I am not trying, I mean, yeah, this is going to be Earth, but I am not trying to make it earthy. I mean, I'm not trying to make it geographically correct. We'll put it that way. I just want it to look like an Earth. Okay. That doesn't look so much like an Earth, but I suppose I should have had white in there instead of... Okay. Okay. Jupiter, well, what... No, we got... What's after that? Is it Neptune? I don't know. I'm not even going to get them all in here. We're going to put one here. We'll call it Jupiter or something because it's bigger. But I mean, he's still floating all around. I mean, he's making our solar system look small, but it isn't. The solar system is small. It's just he's a long ways away. Saturn. Saturn has a lot of moons. I gotta let that dry. I don't know what I'm thinking, because those rings need to be... Let's see. Jupiter has a lot of moons too. One of them is Titan. Titan is the largest of Jupiter's moons. Now, from what I understand, well, there was some evidence of there being liquid on Titan when the Voyager, you know, the ones we sent out there to just keep going and stuff, but that was back in the 70s, and they thought they saw some evidence of liquid on on Titan. Well, they have, now that they have the Hubble telescope out there, they've been able to be more certain than before. But what they have discovered is liquid methane. There is liquid there, but it's liquid methane. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be swimming in liquid methane. That's a little dangerous. But the fact that they found it is something incredible. So alright. And there's always asteroids out there just lollygagging around. Lollygagging, that's a Kansas term, I guess, or probably not. Probably from a few places. It means just being pretty much not doing much of anything. Slow. Wasting time and effort. Asteroid belts. And of course there are comets. You may have to dodge a comet or two, or even an asteroid. But let's start one comet. Let's put it out here. Let's give it a nice long coma, I think they call it. It's mostly ice and rocks. I'm going to paint it blue and then I'll add earth. Well, you know what? That's the way God started it all out. It was just full of water. Then he ordered the seas to separate, or the waters to separate, which he then called seas, and let the dry land appear, which he called earth. Not realistic. It wasn't really meant to be realistic, but it's meant to be fun. There's some of the planets out there. None of them very big, because he's really, really, really out there. Consider that the camera's closer to us and we're close to the dinosaur. So what we're seeing there is off in the distance. Those little planets are off in the distance. So you have to determine which direction you're looking from. So we are looking from the dinosaur's point of view, because he's closest. So we will see you tomorrow. I love you. Smile and wave. I couldn't figure out what I was missing. Smile and wave. That's yours. You go out and share it. It works. It really does work. And I will be back when I'm back. Good night.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the candle